All right, so hello, my name is Jamel Farrakhan. I've been coming to Northfield probably now for about a month and a half, 2 months. I'm originally from Goodlettsville, but recently we kind of moved over here to Gallatin from there. And then coming here, I met up with my friend Phil, and so I started going to life groups with him every Tuesday, and so that's been a great experience so far. Right now I do Uber driving. I was working for a little bit actually in the medical field. I ended up getting sick about 8 months ago. We weren't really sure what was going on for about the first 6 months of that. But within the last 2 months of that, they realized it was a rare skin cancer that I had, a lymphoma. And so during that period, I kind of got taken out of the world for a little bit, and I was in hospitals for a majority of that time. But praise be to God, I started healing real fast. Chemotherapy worked really well and everything. And so now as of recently, kind of hop back in doing Uber, just trying to get back into the world and stuff like that. And so that's what I've been up to as of recently. The whole thing with, me getting cancer and getting sick was, I actually started my journey with Christ like right beforehand. So, I was one of the lucky ones. Because during that time period, that's all I really had to hold on to while they were trying to figure out what was going on with me. And, we got a lot of like doctors and nurses who actually were probably more sad about it than I was. Like, what is wrong with this guy? Why is he so happy? And like, does he know what cancer is type deal? And so that was what I kind of told him. I was like, I got God, I'm not worried about it, stayed faithful. And that was the amazing part about it. It just kind of brought me through to where I am now. They're writing a paper on me now at Vanderbilt because of kind of how fast I healed with this rare type of cancer. They're not really sure how that happened. I mean, we all know how that happened. So that's kind of the cool part about it. And here I am today, at Northfield to share that with you guys. Well, honestly, like I said, I started my journey with Christ before all this, like months ago, luckily, and really kind of delved deep into it, started studying my words, started even a TikTok channel, started making music about it. So I'm pretty deep in it. So being baptized is more symbolic to me to kind of a declaration to the world and everyone around me that I'm living for Jesus at this point, and that's kind of what it's all about. And even a declaration to myself, to make it official, like this is what my life is dedicated to. Northfield kind of made me feel at home, and Phil and Ren were a big part of that. Like as soon as service was over, he came up to me, introduced himself, introduced me to the pastor, a bunch of people, and everyone just kind of made me feel so welcome. But no, Phil's definitely a huge part of that. And so now I'm in life group with him and definitely kind of going through that whole process, and it's been great so far. The verse in the Bible that has stuck with me the most since the beginning of this journey has been Colossians 1:11. And that is, God will strengthen you with his own great power so that you will not give up when troubles come, but you will be patient. And the whole big thing with that was this was kind of at the beginning of my faith walk. So at the beginning of that, I was just kind of going through the Bible, reading it cover to cover. And there was a point, of course, where I did get sick, and that verse was kind of one that rang out to me, and I would keep going back to remind me to remain faithful to God, stay strong, not to give up, because, God tends to take situations like this and turn them into great things if you're patient, So that was kind of the big thing that I just kind of let echo in my head whenever I would get discouraged or anything like that. My favorite biblical story was the story of Job. Now I'm pretty sure I didn't have it quite as bad as he did, but in terms of, feeling like everything's going so well, and when I first started, becoming a Christian, ironically enough, putting everything from the world aside actually came relatively easily once I saw the truth about what was good for me, and receiving the Holy Spirit. It was great. Everything seemed like when I went to work, I was just enjoying working. It wasn't about money, it's just being able to live life and just appreciating it. And then this happened. And so the story of Job was recommended to me. I read that and saw how, even when everything seems to be going so right, you think everything is, nothing can go wrong. In the blink of an eye, the devil or the enemy can make kind of everything go astray. But those who rely on God and not on their own understanding, they tend to be able to, they'll see it through. Even with a few complaints and a little bit of crying about it, you will come out the other side if you remain faithful. And so that was the big thing with the story of Job for me. And, of course, with him, that was what it was. He got sick. A lot of things were taken from him. I had to stop working, ended up in the hospital forever. I didn't know what was going on or why it was happening to me when I thought I was doing the right thing. And that story just spoke to me. And that's what I saw, that when he remained faithful, God stayed with him through thick and thin, right up until the end point, when he brought him past the point of what he even had before. So that was kind of why that was my favorite Bible verse, and that's what stuck with me. That's the Thing About Praise is by Benjamin William Hastings. Outstanding song. about how no matter what situation you're in, just praising God for what you do have in that moment can make everything it can kind of ground you again in your faith, and just make sure you know that everything will be all right. That's an amazing song for that, and it's just a good song in general. All right, so once again, my name is Jamel Farrakhan, and I've decided to get baptized here today to let everybody know that my life is dedicated and a gift to my King Jesus Christ.